Hi there. This video is going to be the start of something new I like to do and answer some questions that get sent to me from time to time. Every now and then I'll get an email asking me what someone can do to improve their speed or what they should work on, various things involving music, and I thought it'd be a good idea, instead of just answering them individually, do a video for it, so this way it might be able to help other people as well. So, got a couple questions from the same person. First question is, and I apologize, some of the wording is a little difficult for me to understand. I believe English is not the first language, but that's okay. I think I understand for the most part. Basically, he's asking how he can learn to play his instrument from a foreign country, but doesn't know where to start, doesn't have the money for it, and whatnot, and he's not sure how to get scholarships and things like that. Honestly, I've never done anything college-wise when it comes to playing the instrument. I just studied with a private instructor, so what you could do is make use of the internet and find an instructor who has videos and instruction that you can identify with, that makes sense to you. I plan on putting more and more stuff out as time goes by, but there's plenty of people out there that have stuff that would be really good. I am planning on looking into, like others instructors, and sharing it on the school's Facebook page, because there's a lot of good information out there, and you know, time is limited, and including mine, and so I don't put out as much stuff as I would want to. So if I find something that I find valuable from someone else, I'm going to share that on the Facebook page. And if you could try and start investing in books that would teach something that you want to learn. So that's a good way to go about it. Just purchase videos, purchase books, e-books, handheld books as well. There's a lot of good stuff out there. I have a few e-books of my own that I'm working on, or that I have out at the moment, so I have a link to the website. You can go check it out. I have a free preview of every single one of them too, so you can get some free stuff that way as well. The other question is basically asking, you know, what should I play? What should I practice? And on how to become an expert guitarist. That one is kind of a loaded question, because you know, it really depends on what you think of when it comes to an expert guitar player. Excuse me. Because you got so many different styles of music, you got so many ways that you can play. You know, to say that you're an expert guitar player, you know, is very much up to opinion. You know, like, what style of music is it that you're interested in? Now, because you sent the question to me, I'm assuming that you're more interested in the rock and metal style, you know, becoming an expert in that regards. The biggest thing that worked for me is I did, you know, in the beginning when I first started playing, is a lot of scale stuff. Lots of scales, lots of legato runs, a lot of rhythm stuff, a lot of gallops, reverse gallops, stuff like that, and a lot of different sweep picking things. And I'm actually thinking about putting together a new program to kind of go along with the lines of this. Excuse me. Basically to kind of like make you faster in a shorter amount of time, like be really focused on what you should work on to go from one step to the next and getting as fast as you can in a very short amount of time. Boy, I got all kinds of stuff in my throat today. That didn't sound dirty at all. Anyway, there's plenty of scales that you can find online. I would search for, and I think I actually have this on the Facebook page. I'll put a link to that in the video description. I did a lot of practice with 3-note per string scale shapes. You may also hear of these referred to as modes. And the ones that I have up on the Facebook page be stuff like this. so on. And what I would recommend is learning those and then practicing those with a metronome, trying to get each one as fast as you can. You can also work on the same thing. You can get your legato stuff in with those same scale shapes. You can hammer on all the way up and then pull off on the way down. You can even work on your finger tapping that way. You can do like a pattern of you tap the first, or I guess the third note in that on that string. So what I was playing was 8, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 10, 12, 13, 10, 12, and 13. So you could tap the 12, pull off to the 8, and then hammer on to the 10. So you can do that if you know 3 or 4 times. Let's do 4 times. Go up to the next string, do the same thing, 12, 8, 10. And then go to the next string and hit those 3 notes. So now we got 12, 9, and 10. And then go up to the G string, same frets. Go up to the B string, we're going to tap 13, pull off to 10, hammer to 12, and do the same thing on the E string. And then work your way back down. And always do it with a metronome after you've learned like the sequence or something. Whatever you're practicing, whatever it is that you want to get better at, do it with a metronome. And I have a blog up that talks about proper metronome practice. I should put a video up on how to do that as well. But basically, whatever it is you're working on, you want to start off at a comfortable pace that you can follow along to the beep of the metronome. And as soon as, let's say what you're working on is just going up and down the C major scale. As soon as you hit it completely, complete, no mistakes, and it sounds even with the metronome, bump up the metronome no more than 5 beats a minute. Whether you're working on quarter notes, eighth notes, triplets, 16th notes, whatever it is, don't go more than 5 beats a minute. And I can get into that in another video as to why, but just to get through it a little bit faster right now, don't bump it up no more than 5, whatever it is that you're working on. So this way you will reap better benefits in a shorter amount of time. I got some sweep picking stuff up that you can check out, and you can work on that as well. I did a lot of sweep picking when I was learning how to play. Definitely do that stuff with the metronome as well. And rhythm stuff, what you could do, even if it was just like a single note, like say you're going to play on the E string, is you can do stuff to where all you do is just back and forth the whole time, and that's a good thing to do too. But something that's going to make it easier for you, not easier, that's going to make it more challenging for you, is to do stuff like gallops and reverse gallops. Like a gallop would be if you do like a downstroke and then you pause and then do down ups. So you got a pattern. So anyway, so you got a pattern of like a down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. That's a gallop. So you can time it so like every time the metronome beeps, you got like a down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, and so on. So just getting that up really fast is much more difficult than just straight back and forth the whole time. A reverse gallop that you could work on for the right hand speed would be just a down, up, down, down, up, down. So you time it with the metronome like down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So both of those rhythms I worked on a lot, getting those pretty quick. And I've noticed that when you break up the pattern, instead of just going back and forth the entire time, like over and over and over again, when you like put those little spaces in there, it makes it a little bit more challenging to get it up to speed, because you want to keep it as accurate as possible too. So those are some tips on how to become a so-called expert on guitar. I certainly don't consider myself an expert on guitar. There's still a lot of stuff that I need to, that I could learn. I don't want to say need to learn, because I'm not interested in learning everything that there is. Like, I really don't have much interest in becoming an expert at classical music or flamenco. I have nothing against it, but it's just not what I want to play. So yeah, I hope that helps answer your question, and hopefully that's some good advice for other people out there. If you have any questions for me that you'd like me to answer, send me an email. I have the address to mail it to in the video description, and it should be in an annotation on, if you're watching on YouTube right now, you should be able to see it. So, I hope you learned something, and talk to you later.